And we're back. All right. So let's do this properly. Okay. We started talking about uh, cannabis, medical cannabis. We want to make that something that we can discuss in the open forum. And any comments, positive or negative, are greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit the like button. Wait a minute, yeah. And subscribe to the YouTube because these interviews and more are coming. It's going to go straight to the YouTube at Victor J. Liu, I think. Yeah. It's one with the candy coated background and the. Yeah, so medical cannabis. Medical cannabis, in my experience, have been important for a lot of reasons. When you look at the economic side, it has the state of California in 2020, around the time of the census, I had read that the state of California brought in 17 million in just that last 2 quarters of 2020. As COVID was in full swing. Along the way, they've increased that, the earnings from, or the tax from the licenses and from the sales. But there was still the issue of illegal farms. Well, found out that the Mexican cartel are involved in that. So that's a whole different issue. Because by immigration status, we don't have that problem here unless there's something that yet to be uncovered. But so far as marijuana goes, it's just, it is a tropical rainforest, so I'm sure it grows wildly here. So today's, we want to talk about education. And educating hey, what's up, Pacalo? How convenient. We want to talk about how to get our voice into the legislative. Because things here are done through, there's a thing in the deed of sessions that is done, that we have this clause called the self-determination. Is what that means in layman's terms. We determine ourselves. Like if we have the power of the federal government, majority of it doesn't work here, if I am correct, because American Samoa has their own laws in regarding anything and everything, and it's all done local. Now, I'm not sure about federal cases, but what I know with federal cases, it has to be done in Honolulu. So, but this issue with medical marijuana, it would be discussed and scrutinized here with senators and the House, and of course the general public. Because if this is what the general public wants, then if it's what the public wants, then that they're all for that. So it's been a long day, long week. But so medical marijuana, we also have to identify doctors who are willing to work with us, who understand the benefits of cannabis in medicine, uh, benefits of cannabis in economical, like make it a viable business. What's unique is we have a lot of land. We got 3 islands in Manua. Island here, island there. But excuse me. So, kele whangua. Kele whangua i kupuila. A vai fui dai I kulanga I o kakamai. The sick. Man, I only got here 2 years ago. But what was told to me, kupulot COVID, it wasn't like that before COVID. Yes, it was here, and it was a lot. But during COVID, because of all that money, and people were getting paid, and more people had more money, and they were able to pick up a habit. Now, what we're talking about is meth. So there's people that smoke marijuana or eat it, and there are all the other drugs. You don't be so naive. I was naive at first to think that, oh, there's no cocaine here. There's no, the meth couldn't be that bad. It's bad. Meth is bad. I can't really say it for the dealers that it's their fault. No, the fault is on the people. The people want it. The mga get it dealers. It's the demand. I say, because people are depressed and they want to feel like Superman. Hold on. They want to feel like Superman. And what happens is they get I know people from Waikongi that died recently, just this year. Sau'Ai. And those of you who are from Waikongi, Inga sendi, deko ki loa mai fo ingi, ka ngaka fo I ka ke masangi mai. Lele ya, ai ura me fo lele. Wa raid whakoanga ngaka. I am a victor. Brand new taro, almost ready to se'i and harvest. Cha. Se'i marikia pula, alu marikia pula. On you. When I'm away, if I calling on you, I come back to a mountain of coconut husks. I know who they are. But let me hang what getting away, like agricultural theft of opportunity. It's happening. Happens a lot. Oh, that is a special guest. And coming on is my special guest for today, researcher and very educated in the topic of medical marijuana. Ladies and gentlemen, Josefa Sau'Ai.
Sorry, so late, Vic.
Oh, no problem.
Figure out I was trying to get on a laptop, but
Like falling asleep, you're talking to myself.
Yeah.
So how are you doing, brother?
Very good, thank you.
So I spoke a little bit about my experience with interviewing these politicians. That they would like to back it, legalization, but it has to come from the vets, specifically Congresswoman newly reelected Amato.
Yep.
She's very open about it. What she says, not quote for word for word, but it was basically, if I live my bets or like mga onga there, then for it. So reintroduce yourself to some of the people that are coming on that first time in this series of cannabis and education and legalization.
Hello, talo falava, ia o loi mo yo se pasua. Wao sau kokongo le medical field, cannabis, medical cannabis field in Nihaui for about 5 years now on a commercial scale. And aside from that, I'm also a patient myself, meaning I consume, I have a medical card, and I have things that qualify for a medical card. And thank you again, Vic, for bringing me on today, and excited to share more about our previous discussion up until now. Thank you.
So let's begin with it was just Thursday. I had a friend of mine, a family member, who came from and he's a vet, and he's going to Las Vegas soon for his vet appointment. He said, "Uso, I need to stop drinking."
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because when I drink, it sets me off. But I'm finding out that if I smoke, I'm happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? Summer Dollar in July, he got he got thrown in jail
Mm-hmm.
with just a lava and some sandals. Sinipa. Sabi for me, oh, I was ended up being big queso, and then there was just so much alcohol, and it was free, like actually. But my feel was it's dry. I guess it's dry out here, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a lie because I know that there's still people that, but then the prices went up, unregulated, and so he said, I said, go to Las Vegas and get a medical card, or when you're in Hawaii, I'll hook you up with a buddy, which means you don't get a medical card. That's all like, yeah, Mayo, why? There's, some kind of leeway in that. And I know that customs here, because they use the drug dog, people have been let through, well, don't we quote me on it. But I know that the vets and people that have medical cards, for year, that they let go through, as long as they have a medical card. But anybody that tries to bring it down with none of that, well,
Mm-hmm.
pay the fine or monkey house.
Yep.
So what do you suggest on how people could go about like kalangoy your neighbors, kalangoy vets, kalangoy dako
Um, Thank you for that, Vic. So far, so ko pero wa experience. Like you mentioned, ikaw, remember, I want to stress this now off the bat. O kako VA, right? And like you've already stated that it needed ako mele so songi mo lako. So first things first, it's their medicine. We're gonna put it into this category of medicine, right? So we have to treat it as if it's a medicine, because that's what it is. But the medicine, it have borders. You can't take it on the other side of the border, whatever.
right.
Like now, more without green cards or the medical card. Well, the issue is, ele honoring your green cards. I can speak that for myself because
Mm.
I was in a situation at home. But now, not to take away from the topic, but what I learned from that whole experience, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And just like you shared with Amata, I myself also shared with um, the current lieutenant governor. And we had a good sharing. And all of these things that we're talking about,
Is
we've talked about.
Lieutenant Governor here?
Um, it was a short and brief conversation, but we covered a lot of things in it, and he's all for it too as well. But what I want to do is there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Like I said before, so mo kako VA la ele mga biela ko medicine. Now it's an issue if they bring it over here. That's already a what do you call it? That's already a violation of a I would say like human right because I have a right to my medicine, and yet when I'm going back home, if I sound now, nisi me ka ving mamla me kako o kula fong fire kanka. On that same note, in my further kanka nga sui because o kiu kia o le malo o ko kuo i kanka. And you've already said it. You've already said it, and the protocol in front of my Matsa and everyone else. What they told you was the same thing that they told me to. Like this is how you should go about it, etc. Um, but they all support it, but a lot of work needs to be done. And let's just break it down from what you shared about earlier. Or the medicine, kawangalo mavelo medicine. Alo lisi por alien fight. Okay, now what's the issue? Kula phone. Now we gotta attend to the law. So ole relationship ole VA mali melekam faikako or legalization is the quality of life because mianga so soangi it kako VA they improve the quality of life. Now before we get into the legalization part, it's best that we start from the beginning. Meaning, kung fama mo mo ko polale la because some know, some don't know, some have some kind of understanding, but not really. So I'd say kung fama mo ko ka lingi la ule kung favorite na ko equalize now. La ule like I said in our on our previous live, Elisis is single, Pio Ulu, Galo, Mango, Esi, Ifu. Now, who don't know, and for those who do know, you should, I don't know too Vic about most people, but you know, indica, sativa, hybrid, um, or I nice ising out loud. What I mean by that is, for kain le ulu, the going out was isse like just ulu mafala or whatever that is, whatever that's called, like
Yeah.
kalo kalo may fiki. Like all there is to it is it's a strains. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Ikukusa mal now ole general understanding of the indica sativa mal hybrid. Like ole indica is susangi ar manulo and then the sativa susangi are to not to keep you down but keep you I don't know
Functional.
functional. And then there's the hybrid which is half of half or a little bit of one and less of another. And then faso solo malaya ile o ai ngai se singa la au now o ko kongo la au vai is ikele ko nga chemical compounds.
Right.
That's a whole nother lecture. That's a whole nother series of sharing. But
Yeah.
just today's sake, o ai ngai se chemical compounds ye mau la au ye mon mer mun muli o le human interaction o le la au makangaka. Now kimire ka mafai. Now I don't want to sound too technical, but
Yeah.
for just for our understanding today, we already have a system in our body that's meant to regulate this biochemical which is the endocannabinoid system. Now, the system na le endocannabinoids, it target the system na le, um, you know, of the our human neurotransmitters like adrenaline, the dopamine, serotonin, so on and so forth. There's 8 neurotransmitter, but long story short, ole connection nga ako humans malala audio. That itself alone should tell you a brief story that
Yeah.
this was intake. And then, like I shared earlier, on the improve on the quality of life. On the issue of kako gaming, specifically VA, um, they have certain issues that they want to take care of.
Yeah.
Have a solution, which is olila out. Now, kau lang famalam kako VA. Olale, how does this gonna impact them when they consume it? Depending on the form of application, whether it be inhale,
Right.
ingest, ikaw famamamala ko
Yeah.
the impact.
Yeah. The thing I remember because shooting. I wanted to ask you this time around. Like on Millie, it has to be legitimized as a full mic. Uh, we have to. I can't because I'm here and none of the doctors here want to even touch that. But
And
if
I
we
say so.
have a specialist or doctor there in Honolulu, um, that we can talk with and get talking with, if I like, yeah, I think you have a good presentation. The majority of the Fono and the Senate, my belief, they see the economical side, but
They're well
they're still worried about. Would you rather have to be on meth and try to figure out their problems? And Governor Lamondu and Lieutenant Governor, they had broken ground for a rehab center here next to the juvenile, between the juvenile and the jail, or stuff on the Hilton. And so that is a project that's already in the works. They broke ground. Now, hopefully, this new government will follow up on that. Because we can get this rehab center done, then they need treatment and counseling and encouragement, and it cannot be a one fixed solution. They will always like alcohol anonymous. You have to have a sponsor. You have to go to meetings, and you have to express what you're feeling, as compared to when you were on opioids or you know mental
true.
health. Uh,
Can I say something
yeah,
about
yeah,
that? Vic?
yeah.
Um, the last hearing that I had with the district representative regarding ile
I'm
pushing.
sorry. Can you speak up a little bit? Yeah.
Um, the last conversation that I had with a district representative concerning pushing the issue of legalization, the roadblock at the time was wala kang faila ko situate le when it gets to that point of the doctors have to prescribe it. They're in that phase of I don't
Here.
know how that. Yep,
Oh,
over there.
that's good. There's progress then. Yeah.
And I was also under the understanding that this last, if there's going to be another session, it might be in that session. But before that, it was mentioned that it's whoever's going to introduce the bill, they're going to introduce that, including what they figured out with the doctor
That's
phase
good.
of. And yeah, it's a big framework. Yeah, so
Yeah,
complex.
it is very complicated. But I am glad to have the opportunity to have you on. So this is not, last Sunday was the first, is the second, and I know there's more down the line discussing this, because I think people want to know, what are we for? Are we going to get everybody high? Well, that's the
About
question that, you know, it's going to happen regardless. But what it's going to do, what is it going to fix? What is it going to assist in? And most importantly, yes, there's economic strength in that. That comes after. But like I said, the doctor is a key, the phono and the senate are the key, and it just takes one to introduce that bill. So let's hope and pray that will happen this coming session. or
Um,
current session.
I know they've, aside from state representatives and the official themselves, I've also talked to a few people that have tried to, what do you call that, push a proposal. Uh, they've tried, and just like anything, it's a hit or miss. So they've tried, no go. Now we're gonna give it another try. Um, so share Kupilo, oh yeah, mom, normally Vic about this whole process because
Yeah,
legalization, like we know it's a really complicated thing, complex topic, but uh, like Kualamalo, like we shared on our past life, of course they're gonna say, like you mentioned, are we gonna get everyone high? Of course not. That's because it's an adult decision to make. We're gonna make it. We're gonna start with adults first. We're gonna start with medical first, adult use, and then hopefully recreational. All of those are different phases,
I
but
got news for them. The kids
mm,
are already smoking weed. They passed by the high school, after school. I'm like, that smells like Bacololo. You know, it's a, I guess this is my buddy here, Louis Slater. We
mm,
should legalize and also farm to grow our economy. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's a very valid point. So the other one, it's going to get to the people that it needs to by people, the public talking about it, and you know, yeah, Chip Scanlon, um, you know, our children need a way out.
mm,
You know,
I-
I guess the
if
liquor
it,
shop will support it.
mm. In all honesty, Vic, I think this is the last hope of not just our youth but our whole island. Like, uh, one if it's anything that I learned from the past sessions of the phone YouTube, there's a lot of issues that need to be fixed.
Right?
We have an obvious solution. Like Sandra Young pushed the issue one time about the state funding. That's one issue we can fix. Uh, help with the tourist attraction. That's another. That's a whole other talking point. The justice system, improve the quality of the facilities. That's another issue. Just consider the fact that if we do legalize this, half of the issues that deal with for the for let alone the law enforcement, that's half of the battle that you guys have to deal with.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I think they've been listening, law enforcement,
Hmm?
and the feedback I get from those that I talk to, the law enforcement, in all aspects,
Mhm.
homeland, um, customs, Department of Public Safety, they all have their opinions about it. But the main thing that they see all the time are these zombies walking around. So they're also, Lewis just said that these talks have been, these have been in the talks for 15 years. So, yes,
If they, all I gotta say about that is like 100% support Lewis, and we all know this. Ang fabi mga all of like he said, it's been in the talks for many years. Ang mga umo yalimano to fix this issue, they would fix it, but they also know that they're benefiting from it. That's a whole other discussion.
well, I hope that in my lifetime, this is something that will take off for American Samoa because a lot difference between now and 15 years ago. Uh, People are very highly educated. They've been exposed, especially with social media.
Hmm?
Kids could just look up the different strains. And I have a little nephew in the grade school,
Hmm?
but he's seventh grade.
Hmm?
And he said, "Yeah, it's like podcast about marijuana." I was like, okay. He said, "Yeah, we looked up and there's this strain and that strain." I'm like, "I've never heard of that. I've never heard of purple
Hmm?
gorilla." What? Just have a grader. So the kids are more in tune with technology, and I think the difference now is people begin to be educated on it. So this election cycle,
Mhm.
it was mentioned on both sides,
Mhm.
and the local reps and the Congress people that were running for Congress. So I'm going to see what happens because I see that the majority might just be, campaign talk. But I know for a fact it was mentioned in the camps talk for PNP. Someone told me, someone from the inside said, yeah, it was mentioned. And they're trying to figure out how to go about now, here. So at least it's a proactive approach. Dahil sa sa EDI mo. So it is complicated, but
Sorry, Vic.
oh, no problem.
No, I'm just now reading
Oh,
the live
yeah,
chat,
no problem.
and I'm.
So with that, it's a complicated issue, but we've had 15 or so years
Mhm.
of talking about it. Now we have this new generation that are more in tune with what the
Mhm.
benefits are. But let me go on the economic side because the only industry we have here is Starkist. Many
This will
times,
this
many
will
times, Starkists have been threatened. Like if you guys raise the minimum wage again, then we're out of here
Yep.
because it costs a lot to operate. But I'm thinking farming, we can introduce the hemp,
Mhm.
we can make clothes, make ropes, and there was a textile company here, but it was, I think it's Korean, it was Daewoo.
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember that. It was ran like a sweatshop, and it wasn't done right. So it was one of those Bright Star, and then poof, found out
Mhm.
all these human rights violations.
Mhm.
But I think with this, if the local people are heavily involved in it, when
Mhm.
Nuua has a lot of land over here, up we also have a lot of land.
Vic,
On top of
Vic,
Hong Kong, there's a lot of land.
whatever land you can think of, we
Yep.
can do it. Like
The front
uh,
yard has a lot of land.
yeah, like why why should we rely on imports
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
local? Like we can. Like people have to think logical and for themselves to think that this
yeah,
is a this is a real threat on all industries, steel industry, the cotton industry. Hence why they've been making it illegal because once it legalized, they know it.
yeah.
But like you like I'm just now reading the chat right, Vic, and let me just share a little bit about Kukong Olifat Pui Pui because that's another thing to shine light on. Now, a part of the legalization too, or the social equity, male social justice, meaning kung kaya nga fai nga kula fong relating to the medical marijuana pole kaya foot, ye ka o ka ko local. Now, we all know this is a long process, but I'm just putting them in the front of the line because once they legalize the they should be the first in line. Now, the issue that conflict mamlam by kakasamo ikakay nga fai nga kula fong is that it's gonna be on their record, so it's gonna make things complicated for them to move on with their life, apply for a license, etc.
Right.
Now, the business, that's gonna make it even more complicated for them to get a business license,
Yeah.
etc.
Well,
Social justice is a crucial part of this.
yeah.
But
I still, from the 2 years and some months I've been here, I begin to feel around, and I think this is the time. I really
good.
believe that this is the time. I mean, it's like the Maoli concert. I'm sitting there in the non-smoking, no alcohol section. And like when Maui came on, it's just this wind. It was like I look at Maui like, damn, do you smell that? So my nephew went and took pictures around. So I came back to the man. I got a contact eye, and they were right there and with all the older people there. It was acceptable. In that setting. So I'm like, okay, it's it has gone to an area that I never would expect it to go, uh, because maybe I've been in the States for 30 years. All I hear is, oh, drug bust, but drug bust. But I think the only one that stuck out since I was here was that New raid, where there was no probable cause except seeing it up when driving by, and nobody arrested. They just took all the plants and no charges, unless they did it without someone news reporting it. Sometimes they're a bunch of quacks.
That's how that's how far and deep this thing that we're doing. And it's like from all levels of agencies, like local enforcement, Department of Health, Department of Agriculture, Department of um, Commerce. They all need to be involved. And
Yep,
if you can link every other week with whoever's line of things,
you'd be
you can.
surprised. The people that approach about it are all these letter agencies. Well, a lot of them see the economic part because they went to college off island and they see the economics with the states, different states legalizing it and for growing and California.
I want
But so they
them to feel empowered. I want them to feel empowered. Like, don't be like, we're showing our face.
yeah,
We're front line. Come on, we can do this.
yeah. A good point that friend here, Pakalulu, it's a
Mm-hmm.
nice name, buddy. Pakalulu was saying that Archie. So I'm guessing that that's Archie Sau'Ai, which is the current director for Department of Marine and Wildlife. That he was spoke about it, but never did after that. So that is the stuff that I'm identifying who are the talkers. Uh, it's just a soundbite, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that are in deep that are are whispering to others. Let's get on this issue. So that's a whole. Um, when I was asked, so who do you know? I said, I got this guy, with the group that I'm part of, and that was yourself. And so I want them to take something from these interviews, these sessions, and empower them. That's the main. You hit it right on the nose. They're here. They've been working on it privately amongst themselves, but hopefully during this lifetime, I say lifetime in the next 4 years, that they will. Yes, good.
Like like you mentioned, they've been there, and you're right. They've been there. The energy that I got from some of them too. It's like you don't have to be a gatekeeper, right? This is for everyone. Like, this is not just for me for my own personal use.
Right.
Like, loa kung. If you come across anything good that can benefit all, why not share it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Well,
not?
another medical benefit. I spoke about this last time. I have a niece that's the same age as my daughter.
What's
She's
up,
11.
Marco?
And so she's 11 in California. Her mom is a nurse. Um, they tried, she had bad seizure, bad skin infection. What's it called? Uh, eczema,
Mm-hmm.
bad eczema. And it'll go all over her face. And this little kid has to go through that trauma of seizures. So they put her in, she found a holistic doctor
Mm-hmm.
who's also an MD, right? To me, I thought that was rare, but there's MDs that are doing both now. And they recommended her a tincture. Now, she was experiencing like the first 3 months. They changed the dosage; it was not so strong, and but I think within the first 30 days, she stopped having seizures, and her skin grew back. So we saw her like a couple months before we left. Her and my other uncles and then my other niece that is the same age came to see us at the hotel playing in the pool. She got the pool. Like I asked her mom, I was like, "Hey, her eczema cleared." He goes, "Oh yeah, medical marijuana." I'm like, "What?" He
Mm,
goes, "Yeah, the tinctures he gets a certain dose
mm.
in the morning, and before bed she has another dose. But it also, if a seizure happens, the doser to make sure she's not hurting herself. But dose it, and it'll just calm her down." Like, wow, yeah, maybe I need a tincture.
That itself alone should be a good explanation for the mafuanga food.
Oh,
If I'm ikaw kang kasama mo, whatever you've been educated with, it's inaccurate information. And let this be a good story for you to like. Because kid you not, if the tables were turned and those people are saying no, got themselves into that kind of situation with their kids, not putting any ill wishes on anybody, but if the tables were turned, I'm pretty
yeah.
break the law to do whatever it takes to make sure that they're
I'll break the law to save my kid. That's for
mm-hmm,
sure.
mm-hmm.
You know,
To
I go to farm sitting at Tafuna Hilton.
another thing I want to share about that, a clear up lang eczema, ko improve lang skin. Uh, one solution, two plus. That's just the two known obvious plus.
Yeah,
Internally, there's a lot of healing going on, and that's a whole nother education video that we gotta do if I'm malame ko kang sama.
yep,
Uh, can I share more, Vic?
yep.
Um,
Go ahead. Floor is
only
yours.
the um the stat book that I gather my information from, the five leading causes of death on the rock, four of those in suswangi ili cannabis and cure, and those four are
Say their name when you clear it with them.
Mhm. Please,
I don't pay that.
but
I want one against.
el lima causes of death in Wakako territory, and four of those have suswangi le cannabis, le maifaku or the cancer. We all know this,
Yeah,
and the facts been out there. Cancer, le maifaku or le kokomolunga,
diabetes.
male. There you
Yep,
go.
I know.
Four. Tell me not.
Well,
Like, why not? Why not? We have something that could help fix these
yep.
four medically. Why
They will
not?
do a lot of it, cannabis, medical cannabis, and also there's, with the White House, they're going to put RFK as Secretary of Health. You know, we, we got, every time I walk into the store, any village,
Mm-hmm.
I just open now, I walk in, the first thing I see is poison. Poison, 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 poison bread.
Yep. It's all in our
Yeah,
food.
you behind the cashier, candy, 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 candy. Begin to find things like red 40, yellow 6, all the different carcinogens.
Hmm.
So, and I know Trump is hitting that way too. If this does get reclassified for different schedule,
I would say schedule. Not even. Don't even try to reschedule it. Declassify it.
declassify it,
Hmm.
right?
Why to begin with? It's a natural.
Right. It's not manufactured. It's from God. It's the plant put here to heal people.
Hmm.
It's, you
Vic,
know,
Vic, think about this. This plant, mua manila aulia maya kako uma.
right.
Now, why all of a sudden, with your poko kako, put the label on this, it doesn't help.
Well, Kakasawa, we were sold on the lies that were taught from like the medical community. Because you look back to it, when Rockefeller took over the education system, by that time he had taken over the medical community. So all these reports, AMA with the
Ooh,
vaccines, yep,
you're dropping bombs, Vic. Be known. Man, there's a lot of education that needs to happen with our
yeah,
people.
yep,
But le kulang alwenga pa la firma mlama ka pula ko nga alwenga o mai mena le kam fa ko ka ko DC industry la wa no le ka mo o le logistics like warehousing
yeah,
movie ko nga alwenga nga mo le e mo mele pa fa ka ko now. I mentioned on our first live that uh long story short, I got into the industry, went through the whole on the commercial side, and kailangan wala o kikiliv wala neither or kung it's just like any degree. There's chemist, and there's culinary arts, there's logistics, there's data
yeah.
collection,
Well,
there's
offering at the college, yeah, I can see that.
hmm?
Pretty good.
Hmm? So
So,
like ako kima for phone belly. Ilingal nga bawoy because ungal nga umay ele fio umay
yeah,
ele cannabis.
yeah, there will be jobs
Mhm.
and there will be a lot of money. And
Mhm.
if I were, yeah, if you're listening to this,
Mhm.
look at this podcast. I'm going
Mhm.
to save it for 6 months and then keep on and downloading on my YouTube.
Mhm.
But always go back to this. You can find it on Facebook. It will be downloaded and uploaded to more on
Eh,
Sau'Ai podcast, SAU apostrophe AI podcast. Like, it's like that all my stuff within interviews will go there. So, Stefan, uh, give me a final word of what you feel are two important things to do in order to education and awareness.
the first thing mokako kang kasamo to have an open mind. To have an open mind and then for our intentions mele come for mako because our intentions are always good with the plan. That's the first thing you understand the intentions more what we're trying to do, and then two, let's because for one and it's for the whole territory. Like in mo misiling if mo misiling through tax. Fanga tax nga improve ya wala falmai onga transportation malavalele you name it, everything.
Yeah.
We got
Don't go on a spending spree.
mhm, 36 mil missing.
We don't want to bring that up again. Hey,
No, thank
man, all I asked for was the forensic accounting, but I could have they could have swayed my vote with the forensic accounting, but what do I know? I'm just a man. Okay, what they say about we got oh, they got a call we're call coming up to make to Texas.
hmm
I don't know, it's probably what 10 o'clock, close to 10 o'clock there. But thank you for your time today. Also,
Yeah,
we'll
appreciate
pick this up next Sunday. We'll do this Sundays, and because I have more time and freedom to sit down and enjoy this conversation.
it.
Eh, nga fu ile nga kadere fu kwa ngura po nga. Dahil
Mhm.
para lang may dia. Wala na dia kala mo na nga yun dia. Kala mo kana na dia. But for those of you out there, Yusuf Asua with 684 Cannabis on Facebook, and he's a patient, a researcher, and an advocate for medical cannabis. marijuana is a Mexican word, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Very
But yeah, that's yep. But Papedo also, and all you out there, share and share and share. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your girlfriend and your wife,
your mom,
and your wife's girlfriend,
your grandma, everybody.
and your grandma. Yeah, maybe your grandma's got glaucoma. Maybe she needs some medicine.
Yep.
You know,
Thank you.
and not all these manufactured medicine are not good for you. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting here, I'm doing dialysis because of kidney failure. And I remember anytime I had an issue, I was pushed medication. You name it, all the designer ones, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that should be something. And I know that you guys are living in the States, like Las Vegas, Colorado, California, Texas, wherever you are. I think it's far away as Japan. Thank you for tuning in. This is Sau'Ai and Yotimusua. Thank you for your time. And we'll talk again next week.
Appreciate it, brother. Take care.
All right,
Proven.
yeah. When we had a week, de payaso.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.